In the quaint English village of Willowdale, nestled amid rolling green hills and peaceful meadows, there lived a man of considerable wealth, Sir Reginald Thorne. Sir Reginald had recently come into his inheritance, and as the golden leaves of autumn rustled through the countryside, it seemed that everyone in Willowdale was abuzz with the news. It is a truth universally acknowledged, Mrs. Eleanor Pemberton, the village's most astute matchmaker, declared to anyone who would listen, that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. Indeed, Mrs. Pemberton had been saying this for many years, and her reputation as a successful matchmaker was well known throughout the land. She was not alone in her conviction. The women of Willowdale, along with their daughters, shared in the belief that Sir Reginald Thorne was the rightful property of one of their own. Among those who took a particular interest in the matter was Miss Amelia Bennet, the eldest daughter of a respected family in the village. Amelia was known for her sharp wit and her independence. She often questioned the traditional customs of society, including the idea that a woman's worth was tied to her marital prospects. Yet, even she could not help but be intrigued by the arrival of Sir Reginald Thorne and the stir it had caused in Willowdale. As the leaves continued to fall, and the village braced itself for the upcoming social season, it became evident that the pursuit of Sir Reginald's heart would set in motion a series of events, some filled with humor and others with heartache, that would challenge the conventions and expectations of their time. The Willowdale villagers organized a grand welcoming ball in honor of Sir Reginald Thorne's arrival. It was an affair filled with elegantly dressed ladies, dashing gentlemen, and the anticipation of potential unions. As the clock struck midnight, and couples twirled gracefully across the ballroom floor, one could not help but notice the elaborate dance of matchmaking taking place. Amelia Bennet watched the spectacle with a wry smile. Despite her reservations about the societal pressures to marry, she was not immune to the allure of Sir Reginald's charm. He was handsome, eloquent, and possessed an air of sophistication that set him apart from the other gentlemen in Willowdale. Amelia couldn't deny that her curiosity was piqued. As the weeks turned into months, the village became a battleground of courtship. Sir Reginald received invitations to garden parties, picnics, and afternoon teas from all quarters. Yet, he remained elusive and courteous, offering little indication of his affections. The Bennet family, who had hosted a gathering at their picturesque estate, was no exception to the frenzy. Sir Reginald attended the event with an air of genuine interest, leaving many of the young ladies in attendance with their hearts aflutter. Amelia, however, did not attend to impress. She had always been known for her intelligence and love of literature. In the drawing room, she engaged Sir Reginald in discussions about the latest novels and philosophical ideas. It became evident that there was more to her than just a pretty face, and her conversation intrigued Sir Reginald. The weeks turned into months, and despite the fluttering rumors and relentless matchmaking attempts, Sir Reginald had not yet chosen a bride. In the quiet moments, he found himself drawn to Amelia's wit and charm. It was her independence and unassuming nature that he found most intriguing. But was it enough to defy the truth universally acknowledged? Could Amelia's unique spirit break the mold of tradition and expectation that surrounded them. As the season continued, the residents of Willowdale were about to discover that love and destiny often follow their own paths, even in the face of established conventions. As the months rolled on, Sir Reginald Thorne's admiration for Amelia Bennet grew stronger with each encounter. He was captivated not only by her intellect, but by the genuine warmth and kindness that shone in her eyes. It was a stark contrast to the calculated courtship attempts of other young women who had surrounded him. Amelia, too, found herself increasingly drawn to Sir Reginald. Despite her initial reservations about marriage, she couldn't deny that her heart was leading her in a direction she hadn't anticipated. The more she got to know him, the more she realized that there was a deep connection that transcended societal expectations. One fateful evening, under the soft glow of candlelight in the Bennet family's parlor, Sir Reginald finally found the courage to speak from his heart. "Miss Bennet," he began, "I have found myself in a most fortunate position, for I have discovered not only the affection of a woman whose intellect and spirit I greatly admire, but also a true friend." Amelia listened intently, her heart pounding, unsure of what he was about to say next. He continued, "While the truth universally acknowledged may hold for some, I believe that love should be a matter of choice, not obligation. Miss Bennet, will you do me the honor of becoming my wife, not because it is expected, but because it is what we both desire?" Amelia's eyes filled with tears, and she nodded with a radiant smile. "Yes, Sir Reginald, I will." Their engagement was met with mixed reactions in Willowdale. Some were shocked that Sir Reginald had chosen Amelia, a woman who had defied convention and seemed to march to the beat of her own drum. Others, however, recognized the sincerity and love between the couple and celebrated their union. The truth universally acknowledged had been challenged, and in its place, a new understanding of love and marriage had blossomed. Sir Reginald and Amelia's wedding was a joyful affair, and the couple continued to embrace their shared passions for literature and philosophy, nurturing a partnership built on mutual respect and admiration. The legacy of their love story would not only be remembered in Willowdale, but would serve as an example that true love could indeed transcend tradition and expectation, bringing happiness and fulfillment to those who dared to follow their hearts. And so, in the village of Willowdale, the truth universally acknowledged evolved to recognize that, in matters of love, the heart should be the ultimate guide, and that love, when found and cherished, could lead to a lifetime of happiness and contentment, breaking free from the constraints of society's expectations. The end.